Hi everyone, thank you for being here. I am making this video in the evening, on Wednesday evening for Thursday morning. Um, and I wanted to tap into the vibe for Thursday, and this is the mug I was drawn to. Picked it up probably at a thrift store, not even a consignment or vintage shop, nothing like that. Just a bunch of violets. I love it so much. Mugs with violets always have just a special place in my heart. They do remind me of my grandmother. She loved violets, and I have made like the sugar encrusted violets that you can decorate a cake with, or even put on a salad if you want. I've made violet tinctures, violet honey, and I mean, all those, you can find all of that on YouTube, or not YouTube, but on Google. So um, it's just a truly feel good, beautiful plant. And the message that came along with that, when I just stopped and asked Spirit, so what is the vibe for Thursday? And if I say today, it's because when I put myself in that vibe, it feels like it's that day to me. Um, so the vibe for Thursday is remember who you are, remember where you come from, and if where you came from was not always a good place, remember the good parts. Because I'm going to bet there's at least a couple of people or times or events that were good. Something shaped you into the spectacular person you are today. So, and I almost said yesterday, but in the video this morning for Wednesday, my grandmother came through and let me know it's okay. They crossed, because man, I was kind of all up in my head about it too. I had two different ones, and it was an interesting one. If you didn't see yesterday's, if you didn't see Wednesday's video, that's kind of happened later on in the video. Anyway, so thanks, Grandma. And violets are beautiful anyway. They are the harbinger of spring, but and we're moving quickly into fall, but I'm hearing keep a lightness in your step. It's almost very lyrical. It's keep a lightness in your step and a song in your heart. You are always in the springtime of your life. Oh God. I know it might sound cheesy to some of you, but it felt beautiful to me. Um, yeah, you are always in the springtime of your life. How wonderful. And there is always room for discovery and growth. So, all right, I am drawn very strongly right now. Let's get some messages. I'm drawn very strongly to the Golden Wheel Tarot. So, this is a deck that was created, if I'm not, that's the back, so you see it. Okay. No borders. Well, where they have the name of the card, of course, but not around the whole card or anything. So, and that's more of a banner. La 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 la. Overthinking. So, I believe this deck has Slavic origins. So, I don't know. We'll see. Let's get into it. Messages for the collective. Mother and Father God. Oh, they want me to talk about this. So I went out for while I was outside for a while, and it's really warm, but there was a cool breeze, and I could hear the leaves rustling, and it was nature energies have been all around. Even last night, very, very strongly, I felt nature energies around me. And what I heard was it's okay to say Mother and Father God, because I've been kind of struggling with it. And I was like, maybe I'll just say all that is, or creator of all things, God, whatever. So what I heard was from nature and from nature energies. Those are very real in my estimation, and in my belief. They are very, very real. That would have been very connected to my grandmother too. She believed in the nature energies too, very much. But what I heard was it's okay to say that, because just like with anything, it's delegation of authority, delegation of responsibilities. And yes, God is all-seeing, all-knowing, and doesn't have to even work to think about things happening. They just happen. But there are different, it's so strange. You don't think of a hierarchy in spirit, but there are jobs that are delegated, just like we call on Archangel, or I call on Archangel Raphael for healing, or Michael for protection, or whatever. So, or any of the beings that you call on, that's who you call on. It could be Isis. I don't know. Ganesha. Oh, sweet Ganesha. Anyway, and Kali. So, Kalima. But it doesn't matter what the tradition is or what the being is. It all resonates with the same higher power. It's just a name, okay? It's just a way to identify. That is my personal belief system. So when I was communicating with the nature energies, they said that very often the higher power, the God figure that governs them or cares for them, or that they call to in times of need, or that is on this earthly realm. Sometimes we might call her Gaia or Mother Earth. That would actually be Mother God. And I thought, well, that makes sense. And then there are other things that Father God would do, just like in a family, and it's one big family. Now, that's a huge simplification. Okay, that's a massive simplification. And I think that's to help those of us who are in an incarnation wrap our heads around the immensity of it, because it's hard for us to imagine the immensity and the power of all that is. So I will still use all that is and creator of all things, because it encompasses all of it. God is a multifaceted energy. So if you say Mother God when you're talking to plants or praying for animals, that's fine. That's sort of the energy around it. And I feel like I personally need that nurturing energy. And then I did get a little glimpse into other universes, which was cool, because then they said, and I said, well, are there any other names that we, should know, or that divinity will? And then I very, very briefly, they would, it's like it seemed the sound started to get very far away, so I couldn't really hear it. It was in other dimensions or galaxies, or in other solar systems. That was it. And in other solar systems, there is another version of the all that is. And I had it for like a brief second, and then it went out of my head. So I know I'm not supposed to know that right now, or communicate that right now. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. So it depends on where you are in the universe, what this being is called predominantly. Interesting. And it is also my belief there is no one way to get to the love of the all that is. We carry a spark of that energy in us all the time. Okay, and we all go through the gateway. All right, well, that was a big, long story. Not story, explanation. It was very real. And you can communicate with nature energies. Everything has a spirit. And as soon as you remember that, then, the easier it gets to communicate with everything. All right. Now, so, and if you are on Instagram, I'm not. I got cloned so many times it just stopped it. So I'll go in and peek and check every now and then, make sure there's nothing weird going on with me. Or an image or anything like that. So, but I do know someone, and she has had so much training and education, basically in like sound healing, sound therapy. She doesn't do like psychic work or mediumship work, but she is very holistic, very lifestyle oriented, and all about healing and the mind, body, spirit connection and the spirit around us. She's a student of Dr. Joe Dispenza. She's had mentors all over the world. She's lived all over the world anyway. So Very cool woman, and she does a lot of sound healing sessions now, and day long, and in the future, weekend women's retreats too. And she will work with one-on-one clients. Her name is Irina. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. She is developing a website, but she has an Instagram account, and I went to one of her sound baths last night, and it was just so centering and so grounded, and she's so good. You just, whenever you're around her, you feel the energy radiating off, and you're just sort of like, why am I worried about anything? So anyway, on Instagram, it's Irina's Inspiration. I'm pretty sure that's it. IRINAS, and then the word inspiration, but it's all together one word. So Instagram at Irina's Inspirations. Okay. I haven't even checked it out because I'm not on Instagram. So, all right. So let's get to messages. And just a genuinely good-hearted person. Yeah. Okay. So, Mother and Father God. And this flipped over right away. The Hermit. Going on a spiritual quest. Well, I feel like over the last 24 hours in particular, it has been kind of a spiritual quest. Wow. Wow. Ten of Wheels and the Empress. Although she was on top, so I'm going to say the Empress and then the Ten of Wheels. So we've got the Hermit, the Empress, and the Ten of Wheels, or the Ten of Coins, or the Ten of Pentacles, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Someone's getting ready to have a coming into fruition, joyous knowledge of self and the world around them. Okay. They want me to also tell you about this. So this is going to apply somehow, and I'm not sure how it's going to apply to the energy of the day, but it's about self-love and self-care, and this hermit journey, the hermit's journey, the inward journey. And if you're a Virgo, that's the card. That's one of the cards attributed to Virgo. The spiritual quest, which leads you, card 3, into becoming the Empress, male or female. It's about the energy of the card. The Empress is when the hermit comes out of the cave and becomes the most grand being possible. This is also a Mother Earth card. Mother Earth, Gaia, Mother God. And that leads you to your happy ever after. That leads you to your, and that could be within you, that could be without. That could be the job that satisfies you, that is not a job but a way of life. It could be health, and I feel like it's health for someone. It could be abundance, it could be family, it could be surrounded by family and friends and community, or finding that for the first time. Someone's going to move somewhere where you're going to find that community. If you are living in an area that is not open to or receptive of you, and you feel like you don't fit in and every single thing is a struggle, start looking around for your home. You may just have a place to live right now. If at all possible, start looking around for a home with like-minded people, because I feel like that's also coming. That is coming in very quickly. So what they wanted me to tell you about was yesterday 2 different instances. One was commenting about a beloved family member that's in palliative care. And when you are on palliative care, that means it's kind of like what happens for some before hospice. Okay, or hospice, whichever one you want to call it. It is final stages care. I was somewhere else entirely different and walked into a conversation where it was an enclosed area, so I just went in and sat down, and there were 2 women already talking, and I just couldn't help but overhear the conversation. And one of the ladies had stage 4 cancer. And she talked about that it was, she made peace with it. She was living her best life, and she was so content and happy. She said, I'm still going to fight for a while, so I'm still going to continue treatment. But the question is, when do you get tired of fighting and you're ready to go ahead and leave? Or when does the treatment just not work anyway? Right now, she still feels like she has a little bit of control. And I just, that hit me so hard. I was all whiny. Yeah, I have some issues, some physical issues. Nothing like that at all. It makes me uncomfortable. And if I exercise really hard, I feel better because it helps the situation. But it's really hard, and it's really uncomfortable. And so yesterday and today, I think I went into that cave, and I'm hoping to come out with greater strength and clarity and understanding, and walk into my best life. And I know that I just read that in terms of for me, but I feel like this is going to impact a lot of people. Where one of us is standing, where one of us is standing, many of us are going to be standing in the same room. So if I experienced that, just like if I experienced, no one is ever left out in the cold, and that is a fear. So we are all in this together. Remember that. We are all in this together. We are all part of the same team. We are all part of the same nation. We are all part of the same tribe. We are all part of humanity. We are all part of the all. We all carry a spark of the Creator within us. We are all connected, no matter what words you use or name you call that energy and being. When I realized I'm whining about things, but I have the opportunity to wake up in the morning and not worrying about, is today the day I'm going to leave the planet and those I love. And so I made a point to work even harder. And I do feel better today. And I made a point of thanking Spirit the entire time and saying, thank you for this gift of health. Thank you for the gift of wellness. Thank you for the gift of being able to care for myself. Thank you for the gift of healing. Thank you for the gift of just life and joy and love. And I could feel myself being in my head surrounded by this kind of bright golden glow. And it's like they were giving me energy. All we have to do is ask. And we are all on this path together. Divisions are imaginary and what people have been told to believe. Besides which, every single one of us have come back. Also, I believe this, we've all come back as every version possible on this planet, in particular, the one we're on right now that we know. Hold kindness in your heart. Remember to feel joy and love. And if you live in an area with massive allergens like I do, you might sound a little like this. I'm perfectly fine. Again, I know a little bit of a strange reading, but yeah. So for Thursday, remember who you are. Remember where you come from, the best parts of it, not the bad parts, because you are going to carry forth only the good parts. And I am so grateful you are all here in this world and on this journey with the rest of us. Okay. Guess I'm getting a little emotional again. It's just been, man, the emotions are ramped up. But I feel like it's to remind us to live. That's why we're all up in the feelings here. It's like it's reminding us that we need to live. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful and thankful that we are surrounded and we are always loved and we are always protected by our Mother and Father God, by the all that is, by the Creator of all things. It doesn't matter what you call that energy. Just call on it. All right, I think that's going to be it. I know it's a short one and I know it's a little strange. Friday's video, I may get out a little bit later than usual on Friday. We'll see. I may be able to do it ahead of time. I don't know. But one way or the other, I'm going to make a point of getting out of my teary self and do some hardcore readings. So anyway, well, that doesn't sound right, hardcore readings. I'm just going to get the cards out and do some readings. Okay, I am getting a message. Emotional upheaval and change is for that reason. The emotional upheaval and the sadness is to take you to a new awareness of yourself, and it makes it get very real very fast in your head. You have to grieve to let go and move on. And we are grieving for not just like a person or a thing. It's sort of like it's okay to let go of the fear. And even in that, I feel like I'm rambling, but we are moving into a new era. And there will be growing pains because there always are. But we are moving into a new way of being, and it's going to be big and it's going to be wonderful. And there will be people who will go kicking and screaming, and those are the ones who usually go the way of the dinosaur, We all may not like all of it, but we're going to like most of it because it's going to be freeing. And that is also the word of the day. Freedom. I'm sending love to all of you. Thank you for being here. We're in for a long journey and a big roller coaster of a ride, but we're going to do the fun roller coaster. It's not going to be where we're afraid we're dying. It's like woohoo, and we're taking off and going. All right. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.